Alright everyone, yesterday Razorfist got a bunch of his videos not just demonetized but blocked worldwide based on CBS copyright complaints, and I was thinking it goes deeper than that. I'll get into a little bit about the sort of copyright situation because it looks a little bit reminiscent of the bad old days of DMCA from like 2008, 2009. Like the dark age of YouTube literally is what it was. We now have basically all the problems that we had on YouTube during its darkest hour are back. This is a symptom of the current political paradigm, the social shifts we're going through, and the debate, the cultural debate and national debate over whether the internet should have free speech or whether it should be run by a handful of corporate monopolies and they should just be able to abuse whoever they want. I fall into the former category, of course. So he was covering Deep Space Nine, and within the realm of fair use, if you're taking clips of another person's work and you're supplying significant amounts of commentary, you've edited it, there's something new about it. It is technically a derivative work, but a lot of it is your own. It falls under fair use. It is perfectly legal. The only thing that can really be done is revenue sharing at that point. Like they would take a cut. And this is what YouTube has been doing for a long time. What's happened for years is that the copyright holders realized, hey, if someone like uploads a song on YouTube, some popular user, they've uploaded a Beatles song or whatever, it makes more sense from a fiscal and a public relations standpoint to simply monetize the video and drain revenue from it, having someone else host it. They're the ones dealing with it, so long as they're not, doing anything problematic. We're just going to revenue share because we're going to make more money than if we take it down and put it up on some separate channel. It doesn't make any sense to do that. And until the sort of the post-Vivo era now that we're in, they're starting to enforce those copyrights more and load them onto their own channels for various purposes. It's just the way YouTube works. But here's the thing. It appears that these videos fell under fair use and that simply they're not able to be appealed. What has happened is that in some cases people are experiencing an odd event in which the copyright strikes that they're getting cannot actually be appealed. I guess it's because it's CBS, a large, lamestream corporate firm. I guess YouTube just assumes that they're telling the truth. The only antidote, thus, if you think that you're being abused, is to lawyer up. And does the average YouTuber, even larger YouTubers, does the average YouTuber have the money to buy a lawyer to fight off CBS? Or Fox, or CNN, or Bill Maher, or something? No, of course not. There is a good reason why I only do my own commentary on this channel. There's a good reason why I don't use any other material. I've got like photos of places in the haunted locations videos. Obviously, CBS doesn't own those. Other than that, or the Radio Werewolf music I've been green-lighted to host by the people who made it themselves. Other than that, it's all my own commentary. I don't do show reviews. If I did, I wouldn't show footage from them. I don't really do music, other than music, again, I've made myself, which means very experimental, weird music. That's about it. Unfortunately, for people who supply commentary about others, it's more dangerous. Now, here's the other part that I find astonishing. You've got a situation where if somebody like Right Wing Watch is famous for this, all the videos on Right Wing Watch's YouTube channel are simply clips that they've taken of other people's materials that are supplied there verbatim. They are simply unedited. They've thrown a watermark on them for Right Wing Watch. That's literally all that they do. There is nothing new in any of those videos. They've done this with some of my commentary. They've done this with a million other people on YouTube. They've done this to Malnu, to Lionel. They've done this to basically anyone who's worth their salt and made political commentary. Yeah, they've had their stuff ripped off by Right Wing Watch. If you, though, attempt to claim that, they will file a counterclaim, and again, you have to lawyer up, the burden of proof is on you. Go to court, basically, to prove it's not fair use to simply steal someone else's material with a new title. But if CBS does it, oh, no, then you still have to lawyer up to defend yourself. It's just taken for granted that they're telling the truth. It's a nonsensical system for a site that is built predominantly by private users. The problem is that now priority creators are trusted, despite the fact that there's already a precedent for the abuse of copyright. I can remember back in the bad old days of the DMCA fights. I'll tell you what happened, because most of you probably weren't on YouTube at the time. If you were, you weren't really as into it maybe at the time. A lot of you simply maybe never used the platform at all or had an account. What would happen is that groups that were tasked with, they were basically the equivalent of trusted flaggers for copyright. They would go around and things would be manually or automatically identified as copyrighted. In some cases, this means if you, for instance, this happened to me with regards to a clip of Charles Manson once that I had on a secondary account. I upload it and I see, well, it's been claimed as copyrighted. I look at the actual track that they're trying to claim I'm using, and it is a song by a band that sampled that interview. The thing is, they do not own in any way, shape, or form the copyright to the interview, so I'm like, well, hey, what the fuck is happening here? You don't own this video, you're the ones that sampled it. You're the artist you represent sampled a clip from the audio that I have uploaded, but that doesn't give you copyright over the whole thing. It means you sampled it. You made a derivative work under fair use, but that doesn't give you some magical copyright. It was rejected, manually rejected at the time. That's what used to happen on YouTube. You'd get a copy, in the early days, if there was a copyright complaint, you couldn't even do anything about it. You couldn't appeal it. Apparently now, if it's a priority creator, you still can't. This function will almost certainly be abused by the legacy media towards alt media individuals. My strong recommendation, here's what I recommend to Razorfist and everyone else. If your commentary is anything other than totally G-rated, if you ever say damn it, if you ever weigh in on politics, if you cover social or current events, anything like that, you must remove any material off of your channels if you value your presence on YouTube that has anything that could possibly be considered derivative in nature. A clip of a song, a screenshot from a TV show, I kid you not, because what's going to happen is that these firms that are competing with you, they want to take you off YouTube by any way, shape, or form possible. They want you to be gone because they're tired of competing with you. No, they don't want someone who's searching for Deep Space Nine, you know, an age-old, like, 90s era show anyway, from a second-tier CBS. They don't want people to see Razorfist commentary, because they might go to your other work and say, well, Deep Space Nine is watched by this person who is declared to be extreme and out there. That's what'll end up happening. They'll use that as a justification. Other sites, craptivists, we've seen this before, will weigh on those networks heavily to try to get you removed from doing that commentary. They will attempt to weaponize the copyright system. That's the next step. They will attempt to do what they've been doing anyway with regards to monetization all along. They will weaponize the copyright system through these big tech firms, and it won't just be on YouTube. They'll do this anywhere where, you know, people make intelligent commentary, so that alt media figures, people who prop up alt tech, people associated in any way with alt tech or alt media figures will get screwed. That's what will happen. I am warning you. I've been right all along about what their steps would be. I'm warning you that they will do this. There won't be, your channel won't exist anymore because they will simply have it taken down. Don't play clips of music. You can reference it. If you're doing it on like Bitchute or something, maybe you can reference it. Razorfist, by the way, link in the description, has joined Bitchute. He should be one of those people who ends up with more than 10,000 and gets the little plaque, by the way. Definitely. His commentary is intelligent. And again, we're obviously not the same. I don't think Razorfist would ever dress like this. A little bit of proof there, and also Star Trek is like, it's shit to me. He doesn't deserve to be abused like this, and this happens to all sorts of people. Notice how a lot of them happen to cover politics. Those that aren't covering politics, they appear to be left alone. I wonder why. Could it be CBS is just worried? Oh, you know, those easily outraged soccer moms are going to come try to throttle us because these people are talking about our shows and we're doing nothing about it, despite the fact that we could file a copyright complaint. YouTube's not going to do jack shit about it. We're a priority creator channel. So some employee at CBS manually reviewed all these, said, oh, yeah, at 2 minutes in, here's a screenshot from Star Trek or something, and decided to abuse. You know, they'll spend a million years trying to do that to some people, because some people never use it, even if it's just an image. Like, I think Paul Joseph Watson, if I remember correctly, had a problem like this once over a fucking image he had in one of his videos. I think it was him. I do remember there was a creator at some point, I can't remember which one, who had that problem. It might have been Sargon, actually, come to think of it. Or even Malnu. Basically, don't even show an image. You know, you shouldn't do that. That's about all. Peace out.